In a world filled with complex relationships and hidden agendas, it can be hard to recognize when you're dealing with someone who has malicious intentions. These toxic individuals often disguise their true nature with charm, manipulation, and deceit. But, by understanding their behavior, we can protect ourselves and maintain our peace of mind. In this video, we'll explore 9 key signs that reveal when you're interacting with someone who is trying to control, manipulate, or harm you. By learning to spot these behaviors, you can take proactive steps to safeguard your emotional well-being and create healthier, more empowering relationships. 1. Recognition of evil. Recognizing evil is one of the hardest things we'll ever face. In the world of Stoicism, we're taught that understanding evil isn't about categorizing it or trying to define it in neat terms. It's not a clear-cut label, but more a matter of observation and experience. It's like walking into a room filled with negative energy. You might not know exactly what it is at first, but you can feel it in the air. The discomfort, the unease, that's the first sign something's wrong. Evil doesn't always announce itself with glaring signs. Often, it wears a mask, hiding its true nature behind a facade of charm or civility. It can come from places where we least expect it, from people we thought we could trust, or from situations we believed were safe. This deception can be subtle, like a friend who always seems to have an ulterior motive or a colleague who offers help but always leaves you feeling drained. The key is to stay aware and trust your instincts. Stoics believe that the truth often reveals itself through actions rather than words, and those actions will tell you everything you need to know. Think of a time when you felt uneasy around someone, but couldn't pinpoint why. Maybe it was a colleague who always had a way of twisting the truth to benefit themselves, or a friend who always seemed to take more than they gave. It's not always about something overt. Sometimes, it's the small, subtle behaviors that hint at something darker underneath. Stoicism teaches us that when you encounter these kinds of people, it's not the immediate interaction that matters most, it's the pattern of their behavior over time. Recognizing this early gives you the power to protect yourself from being manipulated or hurt. What makes this even more challenging is that evil often hides in plain sight. A person who seems perfectly harmless at first may gradually reveal themselves to be self-serving, manipulative, or malicious. That's why Stoics encourage us to pay close attention to the smallest details. A person's actions, their words, and their lack of integrity over time will give you the clarity you need to understand their true nature. The ability to recognize evil, to see it for what it truly is a sign of wisdom and self-protection. Ultimately, the Stoic approach is about resilience. When you recognize evil, you don't have to engage with it emotionally or let it derail your peace of mind. You have the power to detach and maintain your calm. This doesn't mean ignoring or accepting harmful behavior, it means understanding that how you respond to it is entirely within your control. Like a Stoic would say, it's not the event that disturbs us, but our judgment of it. By trusting yourself, observing actions, and staying emotionally grounded, you can navigate these situations with wisdom and strength, never allowing negativity to control your spirit. 2. Sign 1. They come with a new reputation. When evil people realize that you've seen through their facade, their first instinct is to rebuild their reputation. This isn't about facing their truth or owning up to their mistakes, it's about creating a new narrative to control how others see them. They know that reputation is a powerful thing, and they'll do whatever it takes to shift the perception others have of them. This often means spinning a tale, one where they play the misunderstood victim or the person who has changed for the better. For example, imagine a colleague who has a history of backstabbing but, once they realize you've caught onto their manipulative behavior, they suddenly start portraying themselves as someone who's learned from their past mistakes. They'll share their struggles and hardships, trying to elicit sympathy and make you question your initial judgment of them. It's a clever manipulation, designed to make you doubt your own observations and even question your ability to judge character. The new story they tell is not the truth, but a carefully constructed performance designed to disarm you. Stoicism teaches us to stay grounded and not be swayed by these fabricated stories. It's easy to get caught up in the emotional pull of someone's new narrative, especially if it's crafted to make you feel guilty for thinking badly of them. But, as Stoics, we must practice self-control and clarity. We must recognize that people's true nature is revealed through their actions, not through the stories they tell to cover up their flaws. This tactic, changing their reputation, is a form of manipulation, and it works only if we let it. The key is to remain objective, keep your perception clear, and stick to your original understanding of their behavior. Don't let the charm of their new story distract you from the truth. The Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control, our own responses, allows us to stay centered in the face of these manipulations. When you encounter someone trying to change their reputation, remember that their true character is reflected in how they act, not how they spin a tale to cover up their past actions. In such situations, your best response is to hold firm to your convictions. Trust your judgment and don't let their story change the way you see them. The power of perception is yours to control, and in doing so, you protect your peace and emotional integrity. 3. Sign 2, Strange Vibrations. When you've uncovered the true nature of an evil person, one of the first things you might notice is a sudden shift in their energy. It's not always something that can be explained with logic, but you can feel it, an uncomfortable vibration in the air, a subtle shift in their behavior that makes you feel uneasy. This shift is often deliberate, a reflection of their need to regain control after being exposed. They may try to invade your space, ask intrusive questions, or give off an air of passive-aggressive tension, all designed to make you feel insecure or disoriented. For example, imagine someone you've recently caught in a lie or manipulative behavior. Suddenly, their tone becomes colder, more distant, or overly sweet, all in an attempt to make you second-guess your perception of the situation. You may feel their eyes on you, feel the weight of their gaze, or sense an invisible pressure in the room, as though they're trying to control the environment. This energy can make you feel as though you're walking on eggshells, unsure of what their next move will be, and this is exactly what they want. Stoicism teaches us that these uncomfortable feelings are not something we need to internalize. Instead of letting their negative energy affect us, we can use it as a signal to stay grounded. The Stoic principle of mastering our emotions comes into play here. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting their discomforting behavior trigger anxiety, we can choose how we respond. The key is to acknowledge the discomfort without letting it disrupt our inner peace. This manipulation tactic, though subtle, is designed to make us feel small or insecure, but through Stoicism, we are reminded that we control our own responses. Their discomforting behavior is simply a reflection of their insecurity and fear, not something we need to carry with us. By maintaining our own emotional stability, we stop them from gaining the upper hand. Remember, the vibrations you feel are just signals to help you stay vigilant. Don't let their energy manipulate your perception. Trust yourself and your ability to stay calm. Their behavior will only affect you if you allow it to, but as a Stoic, you have the power to maintain your peace and integrity, no matter what they do. 4. Sign 3, They lie to cover up past lies. When an evil person realizes they've been exposed, instead of owning up to their actions, they often resort to a more dangerous tactic, lying to cover up their past lies. This isn't just about one false statement, but about crafting a complex web of deceit that can quickly become impossible to untangle. Each new lie is another thread in the web, making it harder for them to backtrack or face the truth. The more they lie, the more entangled they become, and the deeper they sink into their own false narrative. For instance, imagine someone who's been caught in a betrayal. Perhaps they've lied about something important or manipulated you into making a decision that wasn't in your best interest. Instead of acknowledging their mistake, they'll spin a new story, blaming external circumstances, other people, or even you. They may say things like, "I only did it because of what happened with so-and-so," or, "You misunderstood the situation." These are calculated moves designed to shift the focus away from their wrongdoing, making it harder for you to hold them accountable. This behavior isn't just a defense mechanism, it's a manipulation strategy. The more they lie, the more they hope to confuse and control the narrative, making it difficult for anyone, including you, to see the truth. The Stoic principle here is crucial: we must rely on our reason and clarity of mind to separate fact from fiction. The lies they tell are meant to make us doubt ourselves, to question our own understanding of what's right. But by staying calm and observing their behavior, we can see through their deception. It's easy to become emotionally overwhelmed when faced with a liar, especially when their lies seem to get more elaborate over time. But Stoicism teaches us to maintain control over our reactions. Don't get swept into their narrative. Instead, stay grounded in the truth, which is often far simpler than their web of lies. Recognize that their lies are a reflection of their need for control, not a reflection of you or your worth. The key is not to get caught in their cycle of deceit. As Stoics, we understand that while we can't control others, we can control our responses. When confronted with a lie, pause, assess the situation rationally, and refuse to be pulled into the emotional chaos they try to create. Let their lies unravel on their own, and let your integrity remain intact. 5. Sign 4, they only come around when they need something. One of the clearest signs you're dealing with an evil person is when they only show up when they have something to gain. Before you recognize their true nature, they may have seemed like a reliable friend or colleague, always there when you needed help. But once you've seen through their mask, their behavior shifts. They stop offering support, and you begin to realize that their presence in your life is based solely on what they can extract from you. They'll disappear when you're in need, but as soon as they need something, they'll be back with apologies, excuses, or requests, acting as if nothing ever happened. For example, imagine a friend who only reaches out when they need a favor, whether it's asking for money, assistance with a project, or emotional support during their tough times. When you're the one going through a difficult situation, however, they're nowhere to be found. They may not even bother to check in. When they return, it's as if nothing has changed. They pick up where they left off, pretending to be the supportive, caring individual they once seemed to be. But you know better now. This is a classic manipulation tactic. These people aren't interested in genuine connection or reciprocity. They only want what they can take from you. They don't respect you as an individual but rather see you as a tool to fulfill their needs. It's heartbreaking, but this kind of relationship isn't real, and Stoicism reminds us not to attach ourselves to these superficial dynamics. As Stoics, we are taught to live with integrity and self-respect, which means recognizing these behaviors and understanding when someone is only using us. The best course of action is to protect your emotional energy and set clear boundaries. You don't owe them your time, resources, or support if they're not giving the same in return. True relationships are built on mutual respect and trust, not on one-sided exploitation. When faced with people who only come around when they need something, remember that it's not your responsibility to constantly forgive or rescue them. Their absence when you need them most is a clear sign that they don't value you. Use this realization as an opportunity to free yourself from unhealthy connections and focus on building genuine, supportive relationships that contribute positively to your life. 6. Sign 5, they try to make you feel stupid. Sign 5, they try to make you feel stupid. One of the most common tactics used by malicious individuals is to make you feel small or inferior. They'll use mockery, sarcasm, or condescending remarks to undermine your confidence, often at your most vulnerable moments. This is an intentional effort to strip you of your self-worth, making you feel like you don't measure up or that you're somehow not good enough. Imagine opening up to someone, sharing a personal challenge or feeling vulnerable, only for them to respond with a dismissive comment like, "Well, you should have known better," or "How did you not see that coming?" Instead of offering support or understanding, their response makes you feel belittled, like you've done something wrong by simply being human. This can be crushing, especially when it's someone you trust or care about. Their goal is clear: to manipulate your emotions and make you question your own judgment and abilities. This behavior isn't just about tearing you down in the moment, it's about creating a power dynamic where they are in control, and you are left questioning yourself. Malicious people know that once they plant seeds of doubt in your mind, they can more easily manipulate your decisions and actions. You become more dependent on their validation and approval, making it easier for them to dominate your thoughts and actions. As Stoics, we are taught to maintain control over our emotions and not let the words of others dictate our sense of self. Your true value isn't determined by what others say about you. The moment you begin to internalize their insults is the moment you let them win. A Stoic would take a step back, recognize the malicious intent, and remind themselves that their self-worth is not tied to external approval, especially from those who seek to diminish them. The key here is to recognize this behavior for what it is, a manipulation tactic. Don't let their mockery shake your confidence or make you question your intelligence. Stand firm in your own sense of self, and don't allow anyone to make you feel inferior. Your value comes from your actions, integrity, and the way you handle life's challenges, not from the misguided opinions of those who try to tear you down. 7. Sign 6, they act like they don't know what they are. Sign 6, they act like they don't know what they are, one of the most insidious tactics that malicious individuals use when their true nature is revealed is to feign ignorance. They'll act surprised, as though they have no idea how their actions have harmed you. They may pretend to be innocent or play the victim, turning the tables on you to make you question your own feelings and experiences. Imagine this: you've confronted someone about how their behavior has hurt you. They don't acknowledge the harm they've caused. Instead, they act as if they have no idea what you're talking about, even though the evidence is clear. They might say, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" or "I didn't mean to hurt you," shifting the blame back onto you for not bringing it up sooner. This is a manipulation tactic, designed to make you feel guilty or confused, and ultimately, to divert attention away from their wrongdoing. What's happening here is not just a lack of accountability, but an attempt to manipulate your perception of the situation. They want you to doubt your judgment and question your own feelings, which makes it easier for them to continue their behavior without facing the consequences. By pretending to be unaware of the harm they've caused, they try to erase the truth you've confronted them with. In these situations, Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-control and understanding. It reminds us that we cannot control how others behave, but we can control our response. So, when faced with someone who tries to evade responsibility by pretending they don't know what they've done, stay calm and grounded. Don't allow them to make you doubt your reality. Instead, maintain clarity and truth in your perception. Recognize that their attempts to shift the blame are signs of weakness, not of truth. Remember, this behavior is not about you being too sensitive, it's a deliberate strategy to manipulate and control. By staying true to yourself and maintaining emotional distance, you protect your peace and prevent them from having power over you. The key is not to engage with their games, but to hold firm to your understanding of what happened. This way, you can safeguard your emotional well-being and maintain your integrity in the face of deceit. 8. Sign 7, they try to manipulate you. Sign 7, they try to manipulate you. Manipulative individuals are often incredibly skilled at reading emotions and understanding your vulnerabilities. They use this emotional intelligence not to build healthy relationships, but to control your thoughts, actions, and even your decisions. Their goal is simple: to make you dependent on them, gradually stripping away your independence and sense of self. Think about a situation where someone seems overly attentive to your emotions, always there to listen and offer help. At first, it feels like support, and you might appreciate their care. But over time, you begin to notice a pattern: whenever you face a challenge, they're the first to step in, offering helpful advice that only makes you feel like you need them more. They might start to make you feel that you can't manage certain tasks or make decisions without their input. Their well-intended gestures aren't really about helping, they're about gaining control over you. This type of manipulation isn't always overt. It can be subtle, like convincing you that they are the only one who truly understands your needs or that you should depend on them for support. They know just how to push your emotional buttons, making you feel guilty or indebted, so you begin to rely on them more and more. The more you rely on them, the less independent you become, and the more power they have over your decisions. Stoicism teaches us that our true strength lies in our ability to control ourselves, our reactions, our emotions, and our boundaries. When dealing with manipulators, the Stoic way is to remain emotionally detached and not let their tactics influence your behavior. Recognize their attempts for what they are, a subtle attempt to weaken your resolve and gain control over you. It's important to maintain your autonomy by setting clear boundaries and sticking to them, even when they push against them. By staying firm in your sense of self and not allowing them to make you feel dependent, you preserve your emotional independence. You become less susceptible to their manipulation and more resilient in your decisions. Recognize the signs of manipulation early and remember that true support comes from healthy, equal relationships, not from those who seek to control. 9. Sign 8, they use guilt as a tool. Sign 8, they use guilt as a tool. One of the most insidious tactics used by malicious individuals is the manipulation of guilt. They try to make you feel responsible for things you didn't do, for choices you didn't make, or for situations beyond your control. It's a psychological trap designed to undermine your confidence and self-worth, forcing you into a position where you feel compelled to make up for their wrongdoings or to cater to their demands. Imagine a situation where someone close to you makes a mistake or behaves irresponsibly, but instead of owning up to it, they turn it around and make you feel as if you're the one at fault. They might say something like, "If only you had been there for me, things wouldn't have gotten out of hand," or, "You always seem to disappear when I need you the most." These statements are calculated to make you feel guilty and responsible, shifting the blame entirely onto you. This tactic often goes unnoticed because it taps into our natural empathy and desire to help those we care about. But over time, it chips away at your peace of mind, making you feel like you owe them something for a situation you didn't even create. They use guilt as a weapon to maintain their control over you, making you feel trapped in a cycle of responsibility for their actions. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we are not responsible for the actions of others. We cannot control how people behave or the circumstances they create. What we can control is how we respond. When guilt is being used to manipulate you, the Stoic approach is to pause, detach from the emotional pull, and reflect on the situation objectively. Ask yourself, am I truly responsible for this? Often, the answer will be no. Recognizing this manipulation and refusing to let guilt dictate your decisions allows you to maintain your emotional independence and clarity. It enables you to set healthy boundaries and prevent toxic individuals from using your empathy against you. By protecting yourself from guilt-based manipulation, you not only preserve your peace of mind but also reclaim your power over your own life. 10. Sign 9, they create drama to distract you. Sign 9, they create drama to distract you. One of the most common tactics used by toxic individuals is the creation of drama. These people thrive in chaos and confusion, often stirring up conflicts or exaggerating issues to distract you from their own misdeeds. It's a strategy designed to throw you off balance, leaving you caught in a whirlwind of distractions while they continue their manipulative actions behind the scenes. For example, imagine a colleague at work who is caught in a lie or unethical behavior. Instead of addressing the issue, they might suddenly create a petty conflict with another coworker or exaggerate a minor mistake you made. By doing so, they divert attention away from their own wrongdoing and keep everyone focused on the new drama they've created. This forces you to expend emotional energy dealing with the chaos they initiated, allowing them to escape scrutiny and continue with their agenda. The goal here is to keep you distracted, confused, and emotionally drained. They want you to focus on the drama, to get caught up in the conflict, so that you stop asking the important questions about their behavior or motives. It's a form of manipulation that ensures they stay in control of the situation. Stoicism teaches us to remain calm, objective, and clear-headed in the face of distractions. Instead of getting swept up in the drama, we can use our ability to detach and focus on what truly matters. A Stoic approach would be to recognize the manipulation for what it is and not allow it to pull us into unnecessary conflict. By staying grounded, we can continue to make decisions based on reason, not emotion, and avoid being manipulated by their antics. When you maintain clarity and keep your focus on the facts rather than the distractions, you refuse to be controlled by the chaos toxic people try to create. You reclaim your peace of mind and keep your attention on what truly matters, ultimately making it impossible for them to manipulate or deceive you. Recognizing the signs of toxic behavior is the first step toward protecting your inner peace. By applying Stoic principles such as emotional detachment, objectivity, and self-awareness, you can navigate interactions with malicious people without being swayed by their tactics. Remember, you have the power to control how you respond to others, and you don't have to let toxic individuals rob you of your happiness. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on personal growth, Stoicism, and living a life of integrity. Stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, your peace of mind is worth protecting.